everybody, and welcome to my hometown of Frankfurt in Germany. I'm Sonja. Hi. And this is my friend Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
So now we have obviously the situation with COVID-19 and we have restrictions also in Frankfurt. So I'm going to have to wear a face mask and you're going to see me covered up. We obviously already have gloves for our safety, but also because it's really cold. We have around 3 degrees Celsius, and we're going to be giving you a tour of Frankfurt. And now let's start with some of the details about myself. I love traveling, and I've been living actually on 3 continents, 5 countries, and amongst it was coming from Germany, living in Singapore, 15 years in London, 3 years in Egypt, and in India, time and time again in Indian Russia to actually go through a monk light training. And Lisa?
Yeah, I'm living in Frankfurt since 2016. This year I met Sonja here, and I love Frankfurt for its wide range of things to do.
And this is what we will explore. We will explore some of the cultural highlights, but also about the things Lisa and I do while we're hanging out. There are great restrictions because restaurants are closed at the moment, but we still give you the tour. And we will start now to give you the first impressions of Frankfurt. So this is the Städel Museum, which is having great art since 1850. And now let's have a look along the river, which splits Frankfurt in north part and south part. And the amazing skyline all the way across and back over to the other side. And you see we have the sun out. So let's go and have and talk about some of the things about Frankfurt and the beauty it actually has to offer. So we're now going into the old part of town, which is called Sachsenhausen. And Sachsenhausen is an amazing old part, which has a lot of the old traditional villas from a lot of the bankers and all the rich families which already started a long time ago. Frankfurt was first mentioned in 700 and actually became the capital of the state back then in 840. Now we're going to the Städel Museum and we will see there. It's amazingly done. It has thousands of pieces of there's thousands of pieces of art, as well as hundreds of sculptures. It was first donated to the city of Frankfurt by a banker's family called Städel, and that was in 1850. And we now actually we're gonna take some of these e-scooter. They're really amazing, good fun to drive around Frankfurt because we can pick them up wherever we want to and then just drive around and get an idea about Frankfurt itself. So what you need to do when you come to Frankfurt is you get an app, and then you can basically go to any vehicle and grab them and take them for your ride, which I will be doing right now. Here we go. And now we're already ready to go for the ride. We will take a ride along the River Main, which is the separating part, and go into the financial district and with all the high rises and all the old part of town, which is just next to it. And we take a quick tour about it. So now we're gonna switch to Lisa's camera, as I'm gonna need my hands to actually do the driving. Oops. So always important to watch out for the cars, as they obviously have the right to go. Now, normally it's really busy here, but because it has gotten a little bit colder, there are less people here in the summer. This is absolutely packed with people who are out and about. We do dance classes here, just people having picnics, enjoying the sights, and in particular now because of COVID, where people could not be inside already in the spring. We have been doing a lot of outdoors, obviously, and having a lot of time in Frankfurt. Entire next river has become a great way for us to actually enjoy still a good life while the indoors have been limited. Germans are really interested in their outdoors anyway, and not right now because of COVID. We actually have and Christmas market is quite open in December, and very often being around 0 degrees. Outdoor festivals with lots of things outside, and we're enjoying going out and having free time, more time for those here. You see there, going around with and the same way as we're out and about, we already can see the Lisa, if you turn to the left, you can already see a little bit of the skyline. And we now going to drive up from that on one of the bridges. It's basically about coming up to the. Whoops. Have the great views across the entire skyline and the banks, which are the main buildings of the skyline as well. And I do hope that you're going to take some of those scooters because they're really fun. It's a little bit like, I don't know if you have motorbikes. It's a little bit like having a motorbike. It has a little bit of freedom, the wind rushing through your hair, and just having a really good time. So now we're crossing the bridge from the north part of the city. And you see that the name sign, which shows that how Frankfurt is not just a small part of town that we can celebrate but also absolutely now we're going along the different parts, and you will see the skyscrapers. To the left, we have one of the theaters of Frankfurt, which always has a rotating parts. Some of the things are obviously in German, but a lot of the performances are actually already in English. Then just to the right, here's Vive, one of my favorite restaurants. Normally it's vegan, everything is fresh, it's quite amazing. And to the right, it would go to the shopping district. But first, we're actually going to enjoy having this great view along this vibrant modern city, skyscrapers, where all the bankers are working, all the insurances, lawyers. And now looking up, you see it actually gets quite dark, which is not because the sun is gone, but simply because the buildings are so high. And to the left, there are some parks. There are many parks around Frankfurt. There's two park rings surrounding Frankfurt as you get closer and closer. And now you can actually see some more pictures and impressions. And we meet you at the Alte Oper in a few minutes. and we're about at Frankfurt, Alte Oper. And we were lucky with the cars as we just arrived at Frankfurt Alte Oper Square. This is the place we like to really hang out. But as I said, it's mandatory in Frankfurt to wear a mask. So I'm gonna be putting up my mask now. I hope you still can hear me. It's still me around. And what we will do is we're gonna go directly onto the square. So now we are at the old opera building, which is just behind us. And we're very lucky to have this weather. The opera building was actually bombed during the Second World War and was rebuilt then in the 1947. It's an amazing, beautiful building on the inside. But the good thing as well is there are old buildings all around it. And what we actually have, there are some roof terraces. In Frankfurt, there are many different places which are on roof terraces for having bars. We have even having pool areas being built up there. Obviously, not right now. It's a little bit too cold. But during the summertime, you can go there, chill out, and it's almost like you're at a beach. So um, this we also have again like the good old buildings there. You see the skyscrapers there, and under normal circumstances, we would have some of these areas being set up with many people hanging outside, drinking, enjoying wine, and having an amazing time. And now we're gonna go into these two streets behind me. One is called the Fressgasse, which is a lot of restaurants, and the other street, just off to the right, is going to be about the shopping street with all the big brands which you will find everywhere around the world, obviously around here as well. So back to our scooter to make it a little bit quicker for you to give you all the impressions. So you see the old cobblestones, giving it a little bit of a cozy part to this otherwise very modern city. You see the decoration for Christmas. Normally, Frankfurt has one of the favorite Christmas markets, which unfortunately, due to COVID-19, is not taking place um, this year. But you see here a lot of the Christmas trees already being sold, and all the beautiful decorations for it. And unfortunately, you also see bars being closed and being taped off. So normally, very active city, obviously, and there are many people still out and about, but much less than to the normal times. So if you will come and visit Frankfurt one day, I'm sure it will be a little bit busier, a little bit more vibrant for you as well. We're heading now from the Gesprächsgasse over into the shopping with all the big names. We have Swarovski here, there is Gold Chanel, and we're all walking around. Here we got the cars, Maserati, appropriate for that important part of town. And oh, and dogs. They're not well-behaved dogs barking around. We have another part here. Rolex, Cartier, Louis Vuitton, Ferragamo. Well, all these normal things, from any other city as well. And here we go. We already arrived at another square, which would normally be very, very busy. And you see us around here. I'm Tiki, taking a little bit of my face mask. And I take them back on again. We have the old part of town being in front of us now. We're gonna take a drive to the historic sites, and now the next part is coming up. And you will see some pictures of Frankfurt. Jetzt haben wir gar nichts.
kurz in die Kamera sprechen ohne Kopfhörer. Ich weiß nicht, ob es geht.
So now we're back. So we're back at the Paulskirche, which is just behind me. This is the beautiful Paulskirche. So this is the beautiful Paulskirche, and it's very important actually. This is where actually the democracy started, because in 1830 we had the German Constitution basically being created at that point. And I think most of us actually know about the Brother Grimms. So the Brother Grimms were a part of this democratic movement in Germany at the time, which gave us a very good new part about how actually the common men were allowed to actually have a voice and say about what life will bring to them. So really good part and very important part. Normally this would be full now with the Christmas market, but because of COVID-19 again, obviously we're not having the beautiful wooden booths and all the shopping which we could do, and all the food, but we actually would be uh, now on the square as it is right now, which gives us the opportunity to walk over onto the other part. And I'm going to put on my mask again. Really cold today. It is cold, yes, indeed. So we're gonna take the bike with us, the scooters with us. Um, it makes it a little bit slow walking, but we'll get there. And now we really get to a beautiful part of Frankfurt, which is the oldest part. And again, normally there would be all the booths now for the Christmas market. However, due to COVID-19, no booths, no nothing is happening here other than people. The important part is all the buildings here are very, very traditional, very old, and have one of the most recognizable buildings is the so-called Römer. So the Römer is again coming from the family of Römer, who donated, who actually sold these three buildings behind us to the city. And this is actually where the mayor's office is, and people getting married. And if the Frankfurt soccer team actually wins, then they come up out on the balcony there and enjoy talking to the people. And we have the different areas. I just take a little turn. Very much like you would imagine Germany to be like, with the old buildings, all the traditions. And there you see as well like new buildings, which is because Frankfurt was flattened during the Second World War. So sometimes we have buildings from the 1950s. And again, here the Römer and the Christmas tree. Normally, obviously, where we would have the Christmas markets as well. And we're now going to take you around for an area where we Lisa and I were hanging out in the summertime. Um, and the wine bars, yes. So I do admit a glass of wine every now and then is a beautiful thing. And there are many, many opportunities here to do. This entire area has been redone by the city of Frankfurt very meticulously. The old houses have been restored, and it's a beautiful place to hang out and enjoy the atmosphere of the traditional in the middle of all the skyscrapers and the modern day living as well. I always like to say I like the end. Either or is boring. Why? Sometimes there is the opportunity to actually bring both together. And Frankfurt does this beautifully. The most modern lifestyle with the old part of town as well. And just behind me, you see the Schön, which is also a museum, and around here you're gonna see the square, where again at the moment everything is closed off, but normally everywhere here you would have tables outside and places to stand and just have a drink, have a chat, hang out, meet new people, because people in Frankfurt are very open as well, and they're just actually enjoying the area as well. We have back there, you may see there's a 𝐄𝐀𝐑𝐓𝐇𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 museum, which is again one of the good old fairy tales and stories, which are very German, always with a good message about what to do or what not to do. And street musicians in a very particular style. I hope you can hear it. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, there's a nice place behind the
Absolutely. Lisa has a wonderful idea as well.
yeah.
We're all going around, again sharing with you these beautiful old buildings. And this is the 𝐄𝐀𝐓𝐇𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 museum I was talking about. And a very current situation, because of all the bars and cafes are actually closed. We see people actually buying something on a window where coffees and are being given out, so people still can enjoy a hot drink, and still allowing for the lockdown obviously being completely adhered to. And again, another fairy tale kind of part, a fairy tale house obviously here. Giving a real good feeling how German life was once upon a time, with all its beauty around, including our scooters. So now you're gonna take a few more places on the way. So in the summertime, again, many things are happening here. And Lisa, Sally, a friend of ours who's not around today, normally hang around here. And an important part to understand is that Frankfurt is really multicultural, because a lot of people from entire Europe are moving here, in part for the banking industry, in particular the European Central Bank, which actually brings the employees from all countries which are in the EC to work around here, and also obviously from all over the world. We have many different areas. So now again, you see a beautiful old part of town behind me, and we're passing now the Imperial Cathedral of looking at Frankfurt Park. And we have now sort of taken you on a little tour, seeing some of the skyscrapers, but also seeing an old part of town. And now we're gonna go back to the river in order to show you a different part as well. Again, more of the chilling out, and you see a few impressions while we get there. now, as you can see, many people are out and about enjoying the sunshine. And as I described earlier, people really like to be outdoors in Germany and in Frankfurt in particular, having a great opportunity along the river. We're now moving into a different part of town, which is called the East End. This is also where the ECB actually is located. And we're also going to be able to look over into the south part of Frankfurt, which is Sachsenhausen, where we started out. Just a little bit further on the west side. And Dankeschön. And there are people everywhere. And we're getting through it. And in the east, we're gonna see it's a little bit more modern now because it has been newly developed again, with the building being really sort of from the last 5 to 10 years. A lot of it has been modernized for that. And we're gonna go into one of the parts. Oh, and if you turn right, you see a guy actually on the river. Stand-up paddling has become very popular. And a little bit further on the right, but it's in the shadow, you probably don't see it, the rowers. So this is a good thing about having a river, allows for some water sport as well. And we're getting over to the left, you see the ECB, the European Central Bank, an entire new building as well. And we're getting to another favorite hangout place of mine, which is Osten, which is great for anything from the breakfast areas as well into having cakes and dinner at night and just some really relaxed and chilling out time. I've created an outdoor gym where people can train, which is really important because the gyms are closed again as well to COVID-19. So no gyms are allowed, but it's an outdoor gym. So people still actually can go and exercise. We have a job. That obviously is always an option. But we're going to walk around here a little bit as well. And explore what is all happening here. So let's park the
Parking is not allowed here.
parking is not allowed. So
I think the
menar ada pasti lah Istanbul. So this is a part of the issue. Like normally you can take the e-scooters and drop them off, but not quite everywhere. And now I've chosen a spot which it isn't allowed. So here we go, inline skaters, music he has around. So now leaving the scooters behind, we actually see the guys doing their practices. There we go. And there are also courts to play football or to play basketball. Or there's a man who actually like takes his own kit for his exercises as well. We're gonna walk over and enjoy a little bit because there aren't many people around here, so I'm actually gonna be allowed to take off my mask as well. And we can talk a little bit about more about what life is about. And it's gonna be easier to speak now because it is very difficult, I find, to speak through the mask. Now, what is the important part I think about looking at Frankfurt? Because Frankfurt has everything. It has all the things which I always enjoyed while I was living, for example, in London, which has a lot of cultural highlights and diverse restaurants as well. And we have all these things as well here. There's lots of hiking around Frankfurt as well because there are mountains. Not quite the Alps, but still something which entertains us with going up and down. And now the next question is, when can we travel again? When can you come to Frankfurt as well? And actually explore a little bit more of it, whatever it is you're interested in, whether it's on the cultural side, whether it's historic, or you just want to be in a vibrant city. We and you have it all. We have some of the highlights which we have on offer. We're gonna talk a little bit about it, and we're gonna go and sit on the swings and have a really good old ladies talk about what we should be doing, and maybe some of those ideas we're looking at you might find interesting as well. Oh, and now the swings are just being taken. I think the children should have their first ride to go, and Lisa and I gonna speak like that as well. So Lisa, what are we gonna do next? And yeah, so trying to get you on this. There you go. So Lisa, what are we gonna do now?
Go inside.
Yes. So even though the sun is shining and we're really lucky about it,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Normally, we would be going somewhere inside and having drinks, but that's not an option. So it's only possible to actually meet inside and at someone's house, but only two households are allowed to meet. So this is Lisa, this is mine. So we're two of us.
Yeah.
That's it. And then for the next trip, we're looking to actually um, coming a- coming out and working on some plans about where we're gonna go. Probably in the summertime. Where do you think we should go, Lisa?
Um, I'm gonna go sailing.
You're gonna go sailing.
Yeah, you can come with me.
So sailing. We also can sail around here because there are two harbors actually in Frankfurt. There's the one in the east and one in the west. So you can actually have a boat as well, and anything from a small dinghy to actually yachts, which you can actually take a high speed across the river. So that's obviously only if you have it. But what there is an option as well is you can take river cruises on like big boats, which take you to different cities as well along the River Main into the Rhine, and seeing some other old parts of Frankfurt and also further afield, and then actually come back as well. Anything from a few hours to a few uh, days actually to take up river cruises along the Main and the Rhine. What is another thing which we like to do as well? How about dancing, Lisa? Where can we go get dancing in Frankfurt?
There is a lot of small nightclubs. For example, the Sinaski.
Shinaski, yeah.
Yeah, and we like Sinaski Tagesbar, close to the Oper. And yeah, I'm not the dancer. I like
So
bars, wine
okay,
bars, and
so there are enough clubs as well, which you obviously can find out, and lots of bars, restaurants. On the bars, look at the roof bars, anything from the Sofitel, which has a great view as well onto the Alte Opera, which we had seen earlier, or then there is um,
I can recommend vintage bars like
vintage bars.
the Die Rote Bar. It's close to the mine, and das Logenhaus. It's it's in the Ostend.
And that's really interesting because we all know about the loges and it's the old part which has the traditional workers, and they actually allow people who are not within the part of the lodge to actually come inside as well, at least in the evenings for a few drinks. So it gives an insight into that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, and there are a big portfolio of old drinks, really old drinks.
Hmm. So this is a
Really good
beautiful
taste.
thing because we obviously know all the hip drinks about like, oh, what is a drink of the year, but we also have some specialities here as well. That is particular the Appleboy, which is a kind of a cider. It's unique, not Germany, but actually only to the Frankfurt region, which is highly recommended. Typically, we love it in the summertime because it's nice and refreshing. and we normally mix it with water as well to makes it even more refreshing. Then the next part which we have is what else we like to do, Lisa.
Cycling on the river to
Yes.
your favorite beer garden.
So yeah, in Bavaria there are beer gardens. In Germany we have obviously traditionally like the cider places, the Appleboy places, which are very similar to the Bavarian beer gardens. But we also have the um,
Gerbermühle.
Gerbermühle, my favorite place. It has
Her
amazing,
favorite place.
it has amazing, stunning views of Frankfurt skyline, and at the same time, it has it's directly at the river, and it has a beautiful garden area as well. To be outdoors is really, really the most essential part to experience not just a particular place, but also the surroundings, which is what really makes it such a special and unique experience of coming to Frankfurt. That we actually can experience not just the indoors, but also the outdoors, which is important, whether it is for sports, whether it's for training, whether it's for drinks, for dancing, for anything. We love being outside. And I hope that one day you actually come to Frankfurt and experience it as well. Maybe we can meet, have a drink, or just to take a walk along the river, which is obviously what in COVID-19 is our favorite pastime to do, even from a professional point of view. People take the walk and talk, which is now the substitute for meetings. So again, it has proven that the Frankfurt lifestyle of enjoying the outdoors is an important part about it. So now, thank you, Lisa, so much for all your help with
Thank you,
the ideas
Sonja.
where to go, and most importantly, for being my friend and taking all the chores as well, helping me to come back into Frankfurt after 20 years abroad. And I can certainly vouch for it. Frankfurt is worth the trip. It's really exciting. It's vibrant. It has everything you possibly would want. And I hope, while we can't travel at the moment as much as we're used to, you enjoyed the little tour and will come and visit Frankfurt one day and enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you for looking for us, and we hope to see you next year in our favorite bar or
brilliant.
restaurant.
Exactly. We will meet one day. And all the best. Stay healthy. Make sure that you take all the precautions as well, so that as soon as things have become better, you can actually do travel and enjoy what the rest of the world has on offer. Take care and bye bye.